Hey dudes, so this is it. This is an automatic tree farm. No need to AFK. In the past, we've had to actually AFK and hold down right click to make tree farms of this caliber. This tree farm uses the new mechanics of 1.16. It uses warp stems. It also works with crimson stems. This thing is fully automatic, and thanks to this module over here that I built, it completely bone meals itself with a bone meal profit right now. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to build this. First, I want to go over kind of how it works. So what's going on here is the warped nylium is getting bone mealed until it sees that a huge fungi grows, which in this case we're doing warped fungi. So once it senses that a warped fungi grows, this piston pulses right here, which puts a signal out both this way and this way. When the signal goes out this way, it tells the TNT to go, and there's a series of TNT droppers that drop TNT there that bomb the huge fungi and get all the drops. This route right here, this just makes sure that the piston pushes one more to get that log out of the way. And with this in place right here, it makes sure that this warped nylium never converts back to just a nether rack. And the other way this goes is it starts this pulse extension. It starts a little timer right here that pushes the redstone out of the way of the comparator, which stops this pulse, which stops all the bone mealing, and it waits while the TNT drops on top of the huge fungi, and we get to collect up all the drops. There's a series of pistons set up here to push all of the warped stems up on top of here to get TNT'd and then collected. Once all the items get collected here, we have two different item sorters. They're both for the warped wart root. That's the only thing we want to take out of here and put that into composters and make sure that goes back into the system so we're not wasting any of those. We're turning that into bone meal that we can actually use on the system again. And then everything else comes out to this collection system over here. So now this is where we get out all the warped stems and the shroom lights. And yeah, let's get into the build. I think that is it. I'm really excited for this. Been working on this for a while, so let's get right into this. Hey there, once again, I want to give you an opportunity to win a shout out. And all you got to do to win a shout out is comment on this video and subscribe to me. And in about a month's time, I will choose a winner and shout them out in a video in the future. Cool, looking forward to shouting one of you out. Hope you enter the win. Let's get back into the content. So you're going to want a lot of room for this build. It's not a small build. And let's just go ahead and start off with the warped nylium. Make that 2 blocks off the ground, so make it the 3rd block up. Once we have the warped nylium down, let's go ahead and go 2 blocks above that and then start counting out 5 blocks on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, I'm doing this with iron block. In the other design, I did it with obsidian just to kind of blast proof it more, but we definitely don't need that obsidian there, and this is way more resource smart. So let's go ahead and turn this into a 5x5 square, or I mean 11x11 square, because we went out 5 on each side with a middle piece there. So this is going to be 11x11 square. Okay, so now that we have all these in place and we kind of have where the farm's going to be mapped out, let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 outwards, and let's go ahead and take all these out and replace these with redstone blocks. Now that we have that, let's put some temporary blocks on this side on the middle 3, and then let's put a line of hoppers going into those. So let's take all these blocks out and put some hoppers going in there. Now that we have all that in place, we can go ahead and start laying the power rail all the way across here. And we have to do it row by row like this, otherwise they will try to attach with each other the other way, like that. And when that happens, you have to literally face the other way and do that. So maybe if you're oriented this way, it might actually be better. Okay, now that we have that all done, it's time to put in some of this obsidian. So what you want to do is just cover the top of all of this with obsidian. And this is going to be where the tree is growing through. So the fungus are going to grow on top of this, whether you're doing warped or crimson stems. And then we want to make a layer on this side. Let's go ahead and put the hopper minecarts down on all of the power rails on the end there. And then let's go ahead and put the obsidian on there. Okay, now that we have all the minecarts in place, let's go ahead and start putting in some dispensers. So we're going to need one up top right there. And then one on the side over here, facing in this way. And then we're also going to need a dropper facing into the dispenser on the upper level right here. So just like that. We're also going to need to put in some pistons. So one piston up top right there to break the blocks when we don't need them. And we also need a sticky piston on underneath right here with a redstone block in front of it. Let's set up an area to collect all the drops that we won't be needing. So let's set up a composter right here so we can turn all of those into bone meal. Made that a little bit too high. We just need that right like that. And then you just need a redstone block right there. And then let's stick 2 repeaters going into the block that's going to be up here. So what this is going to do is that when this is a full block, it's going to trigger this piston down here. But this piston also needs a block update in order to do that. So if I do it now, it won't see it. So later on, we're going to put something in here so that the piston is continuously getting block updates. Let's build the sorters that's going to sort out the warp to warp blocks. So this is about where I want to start mine. You can see it's 3 blocks off the floor, and I'm just going to tuck mine in real close over here. And then we're going to need these blocks here. Get a redstone torch, put it at the front of this formation. Get a repeater, put the repeater into the redstone torch. And then the rest of this is just going to be redstone dust. We only really need one of these, so that's all we're going to put in this. Go ahead and get some cobblestone or any sort of filter material you want to put in here. Go ahead and just fill that up. And then we'll go ahead and put our composter right here. So what we need to do with this filter is go ahead and open this up, take one out, put that back. Now we're going to need one of the warp to warp blocks to put in there. Okay, so I put my warp to warp block in there. Now nothing else will pass through here except for the warp blocks, which we're going to recycle. And now let's go ahead and set up our storage system right over here. So I'm just going to do a little easy stacked storage system like so. Now anything that is not the warp to warp blocks will go ahead and end up in these chests. Now we need to get the bone meal from the warp blocks back into these dispensers. Now here's how we're going to do that. We need to build 2 hoppers back like that. We need a hopper going in that way. We need 1 hopper there, 1 hopper there. We need a hopper on top of this one, a hopper going into that one, and then a hopper line all the way back there. And then what we need is some droppers facing up into this hopper right here. And we need a hopper line going into the back of those droppers like that. Let's go ahead and put a block right here, put some redstone on that. We need a transparent block, so I'm going to go ahead and use glass. and put the line of redstone going in there. Just a line of redstone going into there. So we're going to use that. We're going to put a pulse into these droppers to pulse them, and then shoot the bone meal back up into these hoppers, which are then going to fill this dispenser, and then this dropper and this dispenser there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started on the on-off switch. This right here is what's going to be powering one of the dispensers with a little redstone block like that. We need 2 repeaters that go into that dispenser and also powering this dropper right here. A line of redstone dust up top there. An immovable block here with redstone dust on top of it. Slime block there. Solid block there. Sticky piston down bottom. Yeah, let's go ahead and make the on-off switch. So this is what it's going to look like. So that is what it's going to look like when it's on. We need this pulsing the dispenser and the dropper that are going to be dispensing bone meal on the fungi when it grows. And then we want this dispenser to also get a pulse, but we want this one to be halftime of the other pulse. So to make it halftime, we're going to have it pulse every time this triggers, which is going to be half the times that this one triggers. And to do that, we are going to build a little area up here for the redstone to get up to. Go ahead and build it up like that. And now this is pulsing. So if we go ahead and put some redstone in there, you can see it's ending up back in my hand when we put it in there. So that's pulsing. That's great. Let's go ahead and try it out on this one now. And this one happens twice as fast. Great. Let's go ahead and try and put some down in this dropper as well, just to make sure that the dropper is going up into the dispenser, and it is. Okay, now that we're powering the dispensers, we're going to go ahead and take a line straight from up here and get that down to here so that this can get the pulse, the faster pulse from these pulses that we're making. So now, items that are in here, I'll show you this. When they go into there, they'll end up getting shot out of this dispenser here. Great, so that is all working. That is great. Now we need a way to turn this thing off. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a little path down here so that we can turn it off from the front. I like to think of this area as the front. Let's go ahead and fill this in. I like to do all this with iron blocks just so you can see all the redstone path very easily. Go ahead and put a little switch here and then power this all the way through. We are going to have to put a block right there just to cut off the path up here because we do not want it powering that. And if we pull that, it will turn it off. So now that is the on and off switch for all of this. The other thing we need to do now is we need to make sure that this piston is getting a block update so that when solid blocks grow here, it will actually update, because that is supposed to come out when there's a solid block there right now. But it's not getting a block update, so it's not actually doing that. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and use observers. So put one underground like that, one like that. And then we just need a flashing light underneath the piston like so. So now when something grows right here, it should trigger that piston. Perfect. Let's go ahead and put iron right there just so that we can see that that is redstone. I'm gonna go ahead and push this on and off switch back a little bit. So maybe like right there. Just because we need this bone meal that's going to be getting composted right here and being created right here needs to link up to this hopper right here. So I'm just going to link them right like that, and then we should be good to go there. Let's just turn this back to grass now. Okay, so now let's figure out a way to get the logs that are going to be forming down here to go ahead and go up to the top. So we need something right there that is going to push these guys, and I want it to be right there. And then to make this a smart piston, we just need a block there, a block there. This one needs a redstone dust dot on it, and then this one needs a redstone torch on it. So we can just put that right there. And now that is a smart piston. Whenever a block ends up going there, it will push it forward. Now we need to make one of these that is going to push the piston block up. And to make sure that this one doesn't have a double trigger on it, because it's kind of tricky to make these with observers, because normally if there's a piston in front of an observer, it makes it so that it triggers multiple times. All we got to do is go like this. And now whenever a block ends up in front of there, it's just going to push it once. So that's a cool way around having the endless piston loop. Now we need another one of these. About 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks above the other one. So 4 blocks up, we're going to have something else set up here that is going to power this piston. So to do that, just put the piston there, put some solid blocks, put a redstone dust, and then we need some sort of power source on this side. So let's make this cheap. Let's go ahead and put a repeater going into where the solid block is going to be, something powering that. And now when anything ends up there, the piston is going to push it forward and onto this, onto the platform so that the TNT will blow it up and it will all get collected. Let's go ahead and put a barrier right in front of this redstone right here, just so that this redstone dust doesn't blow up, and it kind of protects it from the TNT. We need to go ahead and put a sticky piston on the other side of this one, if I can get to it. Right there. Perfect. So now we need something that's going to input a pulse into there. So we need to put a timer over here, and to do that, it's going to look like a etho hopper clock. So let's go ahead and build what looks like an etho hopper clock, and then we're going to have to modify it. So to do that, you just put down solid blocks like so. Put down 2 hoppers in the middle pointing into each other like that. We need 2 comparators on the side facing away from the hoppers, so taking the inventory of the hoppers, 2 redstone dots, and a sticky piston on this end, and then we need a normal piston on this end, otherwise this delay will not work. This is a delay that delays this piston, that pushes it out of the way, that depowers the bone meal while there is a big tree. While there is a tree here that grew. And we need to put in exactly 18 pieces of redstone in there, because 18 pieces gives us the perfect delay. It's 18 one way, 18 back, for a total of 36 items going back and forth. Okay, so now that we have built this hopper clock delay, to trigger that, we need to go ahead and build a redstone line up to this platform. So just make a simple little staircase here. I was going to bring an input from here all the way over, so that when something does grow, it's going to make this piston move forward, which is then going to delay the whole system. So like that. Now that that is there, we also need to take an input from this, so that when something does grow, it's also going to trigger this piston right there. So we just need a redstone line going in like this. Right like that. So now, whenever something grows here, it's going to push it forward and it's going to trigger the delay. Now let's go ahead and make the timer that's going to be triggering this piston. So to do this, put some solid blocks right here. We need that one there. We need a torch right there, and then this right here is going to be the start of another hopper clock. So build 4 along the bottom, 1 on the end. We need that piece of redstone there. We're going to need 2 hoppers facing into each other right here. We're going to need a comparator on this side, comparator on this side, another redstone dot. And then this one is actually going to use 2 sticky pistons because this one is literally just a timer. So put that in there, 3 items in there. So that is the timing that I found to be perfect for that. The 18 in here is the timing that I found to be perfect with that. And we just need to connect this on and off switch over to this machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig out a little tunnel under all of this, like so. And just fill this in with solid blocks. And then make a trail of redstone dust all the way from there all the way to here. So now that on and off switch works for this as well. Actually, this is backwards. So what we need to do is make the redstone line go into a block right there. And then on the other side of this block, we need the redstone torch. So now when it's on, when we have this thing switched on, this is on, but then when we turn everything off, we'll also turn this off. Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna need a delay coming off this to trigger all the TNT. The speed at which this piston moves forward and then back is not, it's too fast for the tower of redstone torches to actually register. So what we're gonna do is actually make a delay on this end over here before the redstone signal goes up. So let's first of all just make the redstone trail over to this side. So once we have it looking like this, then we can put in just a delay like this. And that will be enough of a delay. But then we need this redstone trail going into this block right here. And this is going to be the start of our redstone torch circuit that goes up. Before we make the TNT duplicators and the whole thing, the whole mechanism that's going to blow up the trees, I want to go ahead and add the Bonemeal Farm in here. So what you need to do is you need bone meal going into here, and you need about 10 bone meal per minute going into here, because this thing uses up about 10 bone meal per minute, and that's when we do recycle all of the drops from everything. So you need a way to go ahead and get 10 bone meal into here. What I think is the best way is to make this huge pumpkin and melon farm. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to attach this with a line of hoppers into this machine. I'm not going to go over how to make this. I made a video on that yesterday for this exact reason. So go ahead and check out that video. I'll link it up above and down below in the description. Okay, so this is super hilarious. So what I did was I just ran this hopper line straight through this old one that I was working on, the prototype, and I just linked it up to here. So we have that all linked up. There's now bone meal going into these dispensers from way over there. We just fill that up with all this stuff that ended up in my inventory somehow. But yeah, yeah, you pretty much just need a bone meal farm right over here that's creating at least 10 bone meal per minute. And then this thing will be self-sufficient. Okay, so let's figure out where the center of this thing is. I mean, I think it's right there, but to double check, just go down on the side. Yep, that links up on that side. That links up on that side. Great. And these things can grow up to 7 long. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the largest they're gonna grow. So just go ahead and put these in the middle here, just so you have an idea of where the tree is gonna grow. And then we're gonna want the TNT to drop in these places. And we're gonna have one of them dropping on the side over here. And we're gonna want that like 5 in the air. So go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put a block that won't blow up. So pretty much you need obsidian. Put that one right there. And yeah, let's keep this formation here. And now from here, we're gonna have to build up 42 and 47 blocks. And then I'm going to mark where this is supposed to be with obsidian, just so I know. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one should be, yeah, 47, because 7 plus 7, 54, carry the 5. Yeah, so this is, this is where we're supposed to be, these two heights. This is where the TNT duplicators are going to be made. As you can see in my design over there, these match up with those 2 levels. So now what we're going to do is put 2 iron blocks on either side of this. That is actually going to be where the signal is going to be coming for these first 2 TNT duplicators. And then just build up a little tower like that up to this one. And then that is where the 3rd TNT duplicator is going to be getting its signal from. So now we just need to replace every other block with redstone torches all the way down here. Great, so now whenever a block grows there, we're gonna get a signal up top because this delay is gonna trigger this. Here, I'll just show you. So a block grows here and you see the signal go up. Great, so that signal is going to trigger the TNT duplicators. It's going to tell them to make some TNT, send it down, blow up the tree so that we can collect all the goodies. So we're going to build off our first TNT duplicator from this arm here. For now, let's just see where we need the TNT dropping. So that way we can be exact with this. And I think this is the block right above where we need the TNT to drop, because we want it to be on that little arm right there. This thing's going to be 5 blocks high, so if we need it on this square, but we need the bottom to be right there, then this is where we can start building with the leaf blocks. So once we find this spot, which is right above the TNT needs the drop, and it's 5 blocks away from, or below from the top right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how we know where we need this thing. So we're gonna need to build this out of leaf blocks. We just need to build where this thing is gonna drop down. We need to make the little path for where the water is gonna make sure that this drops in the right place. Go ahead and build all that up. We need some sort of gate. Let's use a warped fence gate, just because we're gonna have all the warped stems we're ever gonna need. Go ahead and put that in place. Let's go ahead and put the water in here now. Now we can build up these sides like that. Okay, so to build this thing, now that we have this little barrier in here, just make an L shape with your slime blocks like that. And then make another L shape with slime blocks like that. Cool, and then we can just put a coral fan right there. This can be any coral fan. There's a bunch of different ones you can use. It's eventually going to dry up and die like that. That is actually what we want to see before we move forward. You need any kind of wall there. It doesn't have to be a cobblestone wall. You can use any kind of wall you want. Go ahead and put a detector rail right there. Minecart right there. And then a sticky piston right there. Just a solid block in the back so that we can go ahead and put a lever on this thing. And now We're gonna prime it. So to prime it, you just go like that. And then just pull this back. And now this thing is all ready to go. I think I can put a block there without messing anything up. So now if this thing triggers, it's gonna send the TNT down. It's gonna blow up down here. We do definitely, oh yeah, you saw that little iron block get picked up. So that thing's gonna end up right here. And the sorting works, everything works, so this looks great. Let's go ahead and put up a little protective wall right here just to protect these torches because I don't want anything happening to those. That should be good enough. I don't even think we really need that many. For this one, all we need to trigger it is to hook this up like that. And now this is going to get pulsed whenever a block grows. So yeah, let's go ahead and build the rest and then we'll test everything out. So on this one, it's the same thing. We need a block right about here. And we need it 5 lower than this spot right here. So let's try and get this right over this block. Yep, that is it. So now we count down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where we need to start building this one. Okay, so let's see if this drops in the right place. Yep, it should end up right on top of that obsidian. Let's do that one more time just to make sure. Boom. Now that this one's done, we do need an 8-tick delay. So just put 2 repeaters on 4 ticks each right there. Just to get the timing right on that one. And then just put a line of redstone dust going back over here. So now when a tree grows, it's going to trigger this one and then this one a little bit later. Now we just need the last TNT duplicator to be over the center right here. So let's lift it up this high. I think that's a good spot. So if you want to count that out from here, just keep the block right on top of here, and then we can have the redstone poles come out this way. Let's just make this TNT duplicator right here. So just starting on this block here. Okay, so this one I got in the right place. It's right above the top there. And we're going to have 3 different inputs on this one. And we have to do a little trick that turns a solid redstone signal into a pulse. To do that, we're going to have to build little modules like that on each of these. So go ahead and build a 2x3 little module like that with a little thing for the input. Now we need to add all the delays in here and the little mechanics for the pulse. Okay, we're going to need quite a few repeaters for this part, and we're definitely going to need some redstone and a few comparators. So just put the comparators down right there. We're going to need some redstone going into this block like that. We're going to need a repeater going into the side of each of these comparators. And then we just need a line of redstone like this around the side. And we need to set each of these repeaters to 4 ticks like so. And we need these comparators on the other setting with that light turned on. So now I can demonstrate what it looks like. Yep, it'll just pulse like that whenever there's a solid signal put into each of these. So this one needs a delay of 4 repeaters, each set on 4 ticks. Four repeaters on 4 ticks each. This one's going to go ahead and need 9, so we need to add on 5 on top of that 4. And this one needs about 14. now I think this is all done. Let's go ahead and test this out and see if anything really bad happens here. This thing is working flawlessly. We're about to get the logs up here. Yeah, even just, I mean, it was just a few trees that have gone so far, and we already have 18 shroom light and almost a stack of logs there. So that's crazy. I mean, this is just automatic chests that we're making right now. We can make unlimited chests and not have to worry about the resources whatsoever. Yeah, I'm super stoked on this design. I think it's a really simple automatic tree farm. I think I did see Il Mango's and his was intense. I don't think just anyone could build that. Like that's gonna take days to build that. Whereas this, you know, you could build this in maybe 30 minutes to an hour if you want. But yeah, no, this thing's super sick. I'm pretty stoked on it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. This is absolutely crazy. I'm really happy I made this one. I hope you enjoyed this one too. If you did, definitely leave a like. That helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more cool Minecraft automation farms like this, redstone stuff, definitely shoot me a subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and I would love to see you in the next video. So cool. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.